You are now tuned in to Two Studs in a Pod, a podcast giving you a candid glimpse into the world of super terrific Uber dykes, but you can call us stud. I'm Blaze.
I'm Meech.
Joy and hope is what we're getting into this week, so let's get into it. Homie, drop the beat. This is Two Studs in a Pod, which is a couple of studs keeping real raw and off the cuff. Welcome to the show. As of January 20th, 2021, an era of political divisiveness and propensity for hurling untruth like no other has ended, and a renewed hope can be felt across the country of ours. Well, at least half of it. So this week, we're getting into tradition skipped, fashion hits, and that certain somebody we all miss. Before we salute the truth, Meech, what it do, fool?
Hey, everything's been pretty good this week. Hanging out with my sister and my nephew and my niece and my nephews to get it correct. It's their birthday week too. Like my sister decided to have all her kids in the same week, even though they're like 9 years, 10 years apart. I don't know, but yeah. So celebrating birthdays this week. Hanging out down
You gotta
here.
go back 9 months and see what was popping.
Yeah, exactly.
What's popping
Right.
every year, 9 months.
Every year, all these January babies. But yeah, chilling with them. They're still like virtual school, so that's been like making sure my nephew's doing his work instead of playing the games. But you know how that goes. Cause I've been playing the game too with him. Like, I'm playing the game. I'm supposed to be working. He's like, aren't you supposed to be working? Like, shh, don't tell anybody. But yeah, this week has been cool. All that good stuff going on. Watching, the crazy things in the media. Read a book this week. It was a really interesting book, and that's really been it. What you been up to?
I just been chilling, working, getting used to my new work situation and taking care of things around the house. Like I was telling you off the recording or whatever, I was putting up ceiling fans and fixing electrical outlets and doing all this good shit. So, all this good studsman shit or whatever you would call it. But that's about it, just trying to maintain and live life, still working out. I got my little gym together, and so I've been really trying to put it to use and get back into the swing of things. I don't know if I'm gonna be as maniacal about it as I was before, like really counting foods like that, and
Right.
but because I was like more so cut up, and that's when we were going out a lot, so I need to make sure I can fit into my clothes, But so right now it's more so for health than it is for beauty,
Gotcha.
like it was before. Yeah, so that's about it. Good things going on and continuing to go on as the year continues on its current upward path. So, and speaking of, let's go ahead and pop some peas and pay homage to some well-known and not so well-known studs, butches, and other masculine-presenting women that have made moves or are making the moves that help make us seen in our segment called Poppin' Peas. This week, we're deviating from the norm and shining the spotlight on a fierce friend and ally to the LGBTQ community. We are honored to pop one for our newly instated, Chuck-wearing, her story-making Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris. The soon-to-be subject of every single Black History Month paper and program, Kamala Harris has made history by becoming the first ever woman to hold the position as Vice President of the United States. Her list of firsts doesn't end there. The first South Asian, the first Black woman, and the first stepmom to ever hold office of this high rank in the U.S. government. A force on her own, VP Harris joined the Biden ticket after her run to be the presidential nominee ended. Seen by many as a breath of much-needed fresh air in the White House, Harris, a Howard University grad, proudly displays her HBCU and AKA affiliation any chance she gets. Her path to becoming the first woman VP was not as smooth as her electric slide, but after being criticized by many for her earlier career as a California prosecutor, Harris spoke to the mistakes of her past and vowed to make good on those decisions. As a representative of one of the most progressive states in the nation, Kamala has decidedly taken her place as an ally to the citizens that fall under the umbrella of LGBTQ+. The announcement of her addition to the Biden ticket in 2020 was met with much cheer from the LGBTQ plus community, even garnering support from the heads of the HRC and GLAAD. In 2019, Harris famously attended Back When We Could, San Francisco Pride Parade, and delighted us rainbow folks with her bedazzled rainbow jacket. Her support of the LGBTQ plus community didn't begin there. In 2008, she made it a point to not support the ban on same-sex marriage, and then served as the officiant for the first marriage conducted after the Marriage Equality Act that was restored in 2013. Though her record of supporting us isn't blemish free, she has certainly made it known that she is an advocate and an ally. Being the first Black, South Asian American, HBCU grad, stepmom, Vice President of the United States of America is proof that Madam Vice President Kamala Harris is popping.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know how you felt, bruh, but I know how I felt watching this Black woman take the oath of vice president, and even the day after, like, just thinking about it, like, this was shit that we've only seen on fucking TV, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this was real shit happening in history. Like, my niece, your niece, you know what I'm saying? Like, they
Mm-hmm.
will see this and see that they can aspire to that. Not even just black people, brown people, but just women, period.
Women,
Like, how
yeah, in
long have we
general.
had a government where we finally have a woman VP and it's not TV? Like, I don't know. That shit, like, just, that
Yeah, it
got
was.
me,
It was. It was deep, man. It was really deep to see that, and just she broke so many barriers, and but like you said, just to just be a woman first was big.
Right,
You know what I mean? And
right.
then she has all these other things about her that make her even greater. She's more relatable to what it means to be an American.
I think it's interesting now. I mean, she's the VP, and we rightfully so. Like, whatever side of the aisle on, you're supposed to support them
Right.
and if they do good. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, obviously they kind of get our automatic support because that's who we voted for. But I mean, I would have I wouldn't have been opposed to her being the presidential candidate.
Mm-hmm.
There's questionable acts in everybody's past career.
Yeah. Most
And
definitely.
yeah, especially politicians,
Yeah.
and
And a
that.
prosecutor alone, like if she didn't do what she did in her past, she wouldn't be in a position to be able to run for vice president. That's how I feel.
Right,
Because
she
if
had to
she
do
wasn't
her
doing her
job.
job right, she
Right,
wouldn't have been
right,
able to run. She
right.
had to do her job
Right.
to get where
And
she was.
she could only work with the laws as they were in
Right. She can't
place.
change the
She
laws.
didn't, right. Well, and she could affect change of the laws though. And I think that a lot of people now are realizing, like, when you have to, how does the saying go? When you know better, you do better.
Hmm.
So if you don't know the hurt that decision was going to cause, like, now and you see it years later and you realize that was a mistake, and then you move forward and you create actions going forward that can
Right.
right those wrongs, and
Right.
you bring the people up with that thought. So obviously I support this administration. I just like the way that they made up the cabinet and everything like that. Like, to me,
Hmm. A
if you
lot of
see a
diversity.
picture, right? Yeah, exactly. It's very diverse. It's very what America is, and to us people who don't see see what the other side. But that's what this is, the makeup of America. Like, every, I want to say almost every group is represented
Hmm.
in the makeup of this cabinet.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that, and then to see a black woman at the top of it all, because she's Joe's there, but yeah.
Yeah. I know. I feel like Joe is there, but we were really rooting for her. Kamala.
Right, right, exactly. So, let's go on ahead and get into what we've got cooking in stew peas since we're already warming up the pot.
Okay.
1/20/2021 was a day many of us have waited 4 long years for. It's a sacred time in this country of ours when an outgoing administration passes the baton to the newcomer in a peaceful and respectful transition of power. What we saw last week was peaceful, but was far from traditional. For the first time in 150 years, a sitting president skipped the inauguration of their successor. Not that we really cared, though. I mean, good riddance, motherfucker.
For real.
And now, across the country, there is a renewed sense of hope. This feeling, though, is fleeting because there's so much work that needs to be done, especially for us folk that check all the marginalized boxes as black, lesbian, women. But before we get too deep into fixing things, let's get into some of the key takeaways from that glorious day. Meech, I know you had to have caught. I know you caught the inauguration.
Yeah. I was working, but I was I had the TV on and I was sitting in front of it. So I did see pretty much I think all of the key things. Of course, the Dior Jordans.
Yo, the sneakerheads are going
Yes.
crazy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Her
you already know this administration is
it's
yes,
different.
this administration
Special.
is off on the right foot.
Yes. It
Yes.
literally.
I'm like they had the Dior. Yes, for real.
It was like two
Like they
people
had
with
the
Jordans on,
Dior
right?
joint. Yeah, and then Biden's granddaughter had the sisterhood Jordans on,
Mm,
which according to StockX, I saw recently, like in 24 hours after that, they shot up in trade value.
damn.
Yeah, excuse me. Some sneakers that people weren't even no COVID, I promise. Just a little dry throat there. Yeah, man. So obviously my sneakerhead came out when I saw that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Another big thing besides that was Michelle
Oh
Obama.
yeah. What? My
I
former
mean the
first
Obamas
lady.
period.
Yeah.
Yo.
They so swaggy.
Oh my god, I'm choking and dying. Yeah.
Don't die,
Oh
please.
my god. Um, yes, swaggy down motherfucker, okay? And you could tell Barack knew Michelle was like came through stepping, and you could see on
Yes.
his face
Yeah.
like look at my dime, okay, Slime?
Got a
Like look
bad
at
one right
me,
here.
okay, Batty with the fatty.
For
So
real.
yes, I was like, damn, boy, Michelle looked amazing. Like, is she
Yeah.
becoming the president or
Yeah.
what?
Yo,
Yes.
she looked dope. And Clinton and Bush was taking double takes. Always I seen they always find her.
Yes, George W. loves him some
Mm-hmm.
Michelle, okay?
Michelle.
And everybody knows it. Like it's so funny that their relationship is so funny. And I thought Dr. Jill Biden looked
Mm-hmm.
nice as well.
Yeah.
A nice respectable outfit, becoming of a first lady, a professor who's going to keep
Yes.
her job and
That's dope.
stay working. Yes. And teaching
The youth
teaching the
leader.
young minds. Just like so is our first gentleman, second
Yeah.
gentleman. I don't know.
I don't know.
Kamala, the husband of Madam Vice President. He's
Yes.
gonna be keeping. He's a professor as well, and gonna be keeping his job.
That's
So yes, and I don't know what else stood out to you, uh, during this glorious time.
Of course the performances, I'm a music person. I liked Gaga's rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. She came out
I,
stunting.
I missed it because I had it on. I had the television on, but I was also working at the
Yeah.
same time. So and it just so happened that like I don't know, maybe I had a Zoom, like I'm not a team, you know what I'm saying? Like I had
Yeah,
something, so I
something.
couldn't listen. Yes, and I just remember thinking like, can we hurry up because I'm trying to watch
Right.
the inauguration. Like you guys are kidding me. Like, do you know what today is? I don't
Right.
understand why we don't have today off.
Yeah.
Today should be a big holiday.
We
But
actually got a message saying that we could take some time off to watch it, but it was kind of like after it had already started. But it was quiet for me, so I was able to kind of listen. So I liked her performance. It was a different. It was definitely a Gaga version of the Star Spangled Banner. Um, I liked it, and then J Lo performed. I was like, please J Lo, don't disappoint, and she didn't. Because sometimes her singing voice is like here and there, you give and take. She's hit her with the Mariah. I don't know her.
I know Nikki is not a fan.
Yeah,
She's one of those
but
that watches. She's one of those that watches just to see her mess up. I'm like,
no,
that's wrong, but that's her.
nah, she did it. She did a decent job. It was all right. And then um, who else performed? I don't know. Those are the ones I remember. I mean, J Lo, she looked good. She looked
Oh,
amazing.
Garth Brooks.
Oh, Garth Brooks, yes.
Garth Brooks
I
performed.
didn't hear
Yeah, that was
his. I
that
think he
was
did
weird.
Amazing Grace or something like that, right?
Yeah, he did Amazing Grace, and he was all like, "I'm not here as a political statement. I'm
I'm not.
here because we're all Americans,
He didn't
or
want to
something like
alienate
that." But
his fan base.
yeah, because he's like, I'm probably the only. I'm a Republican. Blah blah blah.
Uh,
Yeah, so there's that. Um, One amazing moment was that poet. I did catch that.
oh, yeah.
Amanda Gorman.
hmm
Dang,
I caught I caught
somebody.
halfway through it.
Amanda
I think I
Gorman.
had an email coming through, but I did see or I was able to fully listen to the last part of it.
Seeing her perform that, realizing she wrote it and wrote it for the moment in
Mhm.
particular, I was like, I thought I was a poet, but this, she just made me realize I am not, and I should stick to my day job because that right there, I was like, wow, it was
Yeah.
amazing. It was like she painted a picture and everything. Like I could see everything she was talking about. She talked about everything that the country had gone through,
hmm
not only from like the beginning of it, but especially these past 4 years and up to this moment and how incredible it all was. And she captured that in a little, I don't know how
In
many
a
minutes of poem,
five
but
minute
yes,
poem.
yes, I was like,
And
that is amazing.
yeah, and I heard that she has like a speech impediment or something like that too.
Yeah, she has, exactly. She does.
Mhm.
She stutters like Joe Biden.
Oh
And
wow.
I think it was, I forget who it was that suggested she do it, but I want to say that I heard that it was Jill Biden. Well, I think it was Jill Biden because Jill Biden is a professor, English professor, and
hmm
she suggested that Amanda is the one to do the poem
Oh, good
at the
job.
inauguration, and yeah, I mean, she. I'm like, yo, if that's your first choice to help,
Yeah,
do shit for the country, then we are moving in a good direction. I like it.
yeah. I'm
Uh,
excited. I'm excited
yes.
for the country. I mean, they got a lot of work to do, but it was a good start to uh to the new administration.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree, and I mean, I know in a perfect, it's not a perfect world, and I don't expect miracles,
hmm
but I do feel that at least we finally have an administration that is willing to listen
Right.
to reason, and to
hmm
both sides. Even their speeches spoke to unity, and it's not going to be easy. I mean, because especially knowing where I live, they're still flying their new
They're trying.
Confederate
Yeah.
flag high, yes, and they still feel like whatever. And there's people that still believe it. That he everything that he said, even to this day.
Yeah.
So
Ignorance is bliss, man.
apparently, I mean, I guess that's the way it works. But it's just it's just crazy that people, it can be so in their face with no proof, no nothing. You just willy nilly believe anything.
hmm
Well, all right, go USA.
Can I just talk about Bernie's super comfy
Oh,
outfit?
oh my God! How can we forget Bernie? How can we
His
forget Bernie? A
mittens.
star. Those
Yes.
mittens and the I want to say the stance, but he wasn't standing. It was
Yeah,
the way the legs were crossed. And I love the internet, okay?
yeah.
I
You
love
know,
the internet.
he was just sitting there like, you know why I'm here.
He was like, I'm showing up because this is important, but
Right.
y'all not gonna give me corona. Yes. He was like, I'm in that age range. Sitting off by himself with those
Yes.
mittens. And I think Nikki told me that those mittens were like repurposed wool from something that this person made, like
Yeah,
recycled
someone.
mittens. I was like, that's so
Mm-hmm.
Bernie.
Yep. So Bernie. He just
Yes.
come
Yeah.
as you are, Bernie. That's what I call him now.
He and they're sticking him everywhere, like
Yeah.
everywhere. I just saw him on the subway bumping Biggie.
On the six.
I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Bernie's everywhere, man. But hey, that's how the internet works. You never know
Yeah, what's gonna go
what's gonna be
viral?
that moment.
Shit is crazy. Gotta
Yes,
love the
yes.
internet.
Love it. Love it. Now speaking of the internet, nice little segue there. Let's go on ahead and get into Wild Peas, or the part of the show where we share and answer some of the most wild questions we've seen on the internet. This week's question is: what was the first lesbian thing you did before you realized you was a lesbian?
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
I mean, I did so much, not realizing that that was like a way to be. Like I
Yeah.
was just messing with girls, young, just messing with girls,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't realize that that had a name. So
You was just living your life.
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, for me, I would have to speak to the stereotypical things, I think, like playing basketball, wearing boys' clothes. Because I've been doing that. I was doing that since I was a kid. Um, I don't know. Being into masculine things, I guess.
I guess like want my hair cut short, wearing boy
Crushing,
clothes,
crushing on
crushing on girls.
all
Yeah,
the girls. Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know. Like, like I guess that's it. That's what I did before I knew I was a lesbian. Lesbian thing. And on that note, we're going to end the show here. If you're not already, go follow Two Studs in a Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Want to see our stud life behind the scenes? Follow Meech on IG at the Homie Meech and on Twitter at Homie Meech. And myself at its.me.blaze on IG and it's me Blaze2 on Twitter. If email is more your thing, shoot us an email at twostudsinapod@gmail.com. That's TWO studsinapod@gmail.com. www.twostudsinapod.com is the place to find everything stud, including our latest episodes, blogs, and more. Listening on the move? Catch a new episode of Two Studs in a Pod every Tuesday on streaming platforms everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Gratitude is always the attitude, so we want to say thank you for lending us your ear.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Cheerio.
Good chat. Good chat. Cheerio. Good chat.